to the Voiceover Round Table. I'm Mike Tobin.
And I'm Emma O'Neill. Every week, we get together to talk about all things voiceover, with a special focus on community.
Bringing you in-depth interviews, roundtable discussions, special performance events, and industry-leading guests.
Let's get started. This is the Voiceover Round Table.
We are back, and our guest tonight is a successful, top-booking British VO talent. Well, she's actually Welsh, to be exact, but she's an international voiceover coach and an e-learning casting director. She's well known for her upbeat and fun attitude. I mean, come on, seriously. This is literally, yes, and is a sought-after VO coach for new talent and veterans alike in the industry.
She's voiced thousands of projects over the last decade for clients like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, BMW, IKEA, Uber, Hilton, and many, many more, and is a leading six-figure international talent in the industry. She's frequently called upon to guest coach for webinars and podcasts, kind of like this, and to present at various voiceover conferences, but really loves to hang out in person with her voiceover tribe whenever she can. So we're going to do that virtually tonight. And she's also apparently a crazy cat lady and musician, but we're not going to hold that against her. So
Please welcome to the Voiceover Round Table, Shelley Avelino.
Oh, wow. My goodness, what an introduction. Thank you, guys.
we call it the treatment. There's two things we have in this show. It's the Snyderism and the treatment.
And the treatment, right. Okay.
Oh, man.
Thank you. No, I'm
Welcome, Shell.
happy to be here. Yeah, you too. It's been a while since I've seen you in person, Mike.
It has. And I'm looking forward to doing like the real thing at some point soon, hopefully.
Oh, there he is in 3D. Oh,
3D.
Yeah.
Love it. We've got a lot of stuff to do and have fun tonight and to talk. But I want to start with something we do sometime here. We go with rapid fire questions just to kind of warm up together. So we want to get warmed up with rapid fire questions, just quick responses, first thing that pops in your head kind of thing, as long as it's truthful and honest, no matter what.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, tonight's questions have been submitted by North Americans who are not quite sure what to make of the United Kingdom.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, dear. What he did it. Okay.
Here we go. Question number one, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, for Shelley Avelino, you are welcoming some new North American friends into your home for the first time, and you know that they're hoping for authentic cuisine. Will you serve fish and chips or bangers and mash?
Oh, bangers and mash every time.
There we go.
So
why is that?
Well, because you can't really get a good bangers and mash in America. You can get fish and chips to a point, but bangers and mash, they don't do real sausage here. So I'm going to have to do sausage and mash. Yep.
Consider ourselves educated. And that's the purpose of these questions. Awesome. Question number two, we continue on the culinary experience theme. Canada is to poutine as Wales is to blank.
Oh, that's Welsh rarebit.
Is there no national dish of Wales?
Welsh rarebit, I would say.
Okay.
It's funny actually when you talk about Welsh rarebit. It sounds like it's a bit gross, isn't it? But it's actually
Did you say rabbit?
No, rarebit.
Rare bit.
Yeah, it's like a hot cheese-based sauce, it's basically cheese on toast.
Okay.
It's like a posh cheese on toast.
Grilled cheese déconstruit.
And there you go. That's exactly what it is.
Grilled cheese deconstructed.
And we've got a little bit of like Worcestershire sauce on top.
Oh, you said that so elegantly.
you know, it's the...
It is. Yes. Many will fumble with that one. Question number three. We need to know, and this is kind of a voiceover adjacent question. Does Sir David Attenborough, famed for his nature documentary voiceovers, have the same godlike status in the UK as he does in America?
Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't want to sound like David Attenborough? I mean, come on. He could make the pangolin sound attractive and gorgeous. I mean, they are lovely creatures, but still, he has the knack, right? He has the knack.
Most definite. Okay, we're into almost the middle section. We're going to get a little bit more serious. On to geopolitics. So how many countries are there in the UK? And more importantly, why?
A lot of people don't know there are actually 4 different countries in the UK, believe it or not.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And they are?
England,
Yes.
Southern Ireland,
Yes.
Wales, and Scotland.
Yes.
And that's what makes up the United Kingdom.
The Northern Ireland.
Sorry, Northern Ireland, not Southern Ireland.
Southern Ireland.
My bad.
You've got a Dubliner in the house. Be careful.
I know. I did realise that, yeah. As soon as I said it, Northern Ireland.
All right. Let's move on to some celebrity humor. So who provides, for you at least, better belly laughs? Monty Python or Mr. Bean?
Oh gosh, Monty Python, without a doubt. I'm not a Mr. Bean lover though. Like, he just gets on my nerves.
Okay.
But Monty Python, absolutely hysterically funny. But he is kind of like they are kind of like the one that every American knows. So
Right. Which is why it's so accessible and easy to ask questions about it.
exactly.
So I it's kind of quiet. I believe my lovely co-host has left the room momentarily. So what do you think of the Irish?
Well, I can't see much.
Well, there she is. Don't much.
Half Irish. My mum's Irish, so I'm Irish, half Irish, quarter Welsh and quarter English. So there you go.
That's a lot of fractions.
He's taking advantage of the fact that I didn't have time to to check in.
She didn't scan.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Question number 8. Next topic, Mike's celebrity crushes. Wait a minute. Did I? So do Brits and I suppose folks from the other countries too, do they find the North American accent as sexy as we North Americans find the British accent?
Oh, hell yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, anybody with an accent, right? You always want to hear something different than the one you have. So, I married an American. When he met me, he just kept saying to me, "Oh, tell me your shopping list." And I would say back to him, "Only if you tell me yours." It was that kind of thing. So,
I love it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I wasn't joking. If I go through my, female actors that I really dig, I'm like, oh, British. Yep. Oh, British. Oh, British. Oh, Australian. There we go.
There you go.
Make an exception for the Aussies too. There's question number 9. We're almost through this. Fun so far? Yes, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
Great. Expanding a bit on a TED Talk. Ted Lasso, that is. Let me see if I have this straight now.
To be specific.
Be specific.
Okay, because this is a bit of a brain bender.
Oh, dear.
Chips are called crisps.
Yes.
Right.
French fries are called chips.
Chips, correct?
And soccer is called football. So this world is so upside down. What is your favorite term that is extremely different between like the UK and North America?
Oh gosh, my favorite one. You would say exhausted, that you're tired or exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
The Welsh would say we're knackered.
Knackered. Yes.
We're absolutely knackered. That's my favourite. Did you say that?
Knackered.
Yeah, banjats, knackered.
Banjats, yeah.
On my arse, am I allowed to swear? On my arse.
Yes, we're going to throw away our PG-13 rating tonight. There it goes. Go for it.
Love it.
And what were you saying?
Yeah.
He's just throwing things away, but you continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think knackered is my favourite one.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Yeah. Ted Lasso taught me wanker. That's a really...
Oh, yeah. Wanker. Wanker, tosser. There's a few. I won't go into too much of those, but yeah, there's quite a few.
All right. Our final question as we try to reestablish our PG-13 rating here. Last question, and this one comes via X, formerly known as Twitter, but whatever. From user This Side of the Pond. Do British people actually use those red telephone booths, or are they just for decoration?
We did use them. I'm going to show my age a bit now. When I was younger, that's all we had. Right? Mm-hmm. So when I first went to university many moons ago, I used to have to go to a red telephone box to phone my parents because I did not have a mobile phone. So yes, we did used to use those. They're not just for show. Now they're pretty much for show. Some work, some don't.
Oh, well, that's interesting to know. Some work, some don't. So if you're in trouble you're taking a chance running to one of the
Taking a chance. You're taking a chance.
It's better to flag someone and say, "Can I borrow your?"
Can you borrow your phone? Yeah, probably you get more luck.
Awesome.
True.
Shelley, you've been a great sport. That's all the time we have for tonight. So no,
Yeah, see you all
let's
Voiceover.
chat about voiceover a bit, okay?
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am just so glad that we finally got you on the show. All of the with the way that we do things specifically on the VO Roundtable is that we schedule things randomly as far as I can ahead of time in the calendar. And so planning Q3, I think I reached out to Shelley in like the end of Q1. So it was like,
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
I was like, I have this date and this date available. How about you? And I'm so glad that we finally have gotten you on the show, because tonight I know we're going to get something that our listeners will enjoy and that they'll get so much value out of, because we haven't done this for a little while, and that is to do reads. And this value feedback from a live, real-life casting director. But
Exciting.
before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about you.
About me?
About you.
Yep. You.
Has the world called work look for you these days?
Do you know, it's actually changed. It changes all the time. You know, voiceover is like that. Not one day is the same.
Yeah.
But obviously COVID, things change again.
100%, yep.
Right? I do a lot of non-union work. So the bulk of my work is corporate videos, explainer videos. I do a lot of medical, obviously lots of e-learning. But I also do video games and an animation. I've just been signed up for a new animation that starts producing next year, which I'm really looking forward to. Commercials. So I do a lot of everything across the board, but non-union, the non-sexy stuff, as I call it, right, is the bulk of my work. So I really do cross all over everything. The only thing I don't really do, and it's mainly because I don't like it, I have done it, is promo. I'm the opposite to you, Emma.
I'm like, bring on the promo.
He's like, bring it on, man. I started in audiobooks, so I like the long form too. So I really am, across the board, which is great, and across the world. I work all over the world on different time zones because I've lived all over the world. So it just fits, I like to keep myself in different genres. I don't pigeonhole myself too much. That's basically a lot of it is because I bore quite easily. So I have to keep myself, busy in different genres. That's why. Plus I love it. There's that.
And you do the coaching thing, and you do the conference thing, and I do the,
Yeah, I do a bit of everything, which is nice. I've been doing this for over a decade now. So, the next step for me was to move into coaching 7 years ago now. I've always been a teacher. Before I got into voiceover, I was a teacher and a tech vet. I did a bit of everything. And then, the casting director kind of, I fell into that too, actually. I wasn't really looking to get into casting, but because I know so many people in the industry, again,
came and found you.
It came and found me. Yeah, he's actually one of my clients. I said, hey, we have a casting department, and we know that you're one of our talent, and you seem to know everybody. We always seem to come to you so could you take over our casting? So, it kind of went from there, and I cast outside of that company too. So yeah, it's a great world to be in, and I love the casting as well as the coaching. So yeah, it's great.
And one of the things that we mentioned in your bio is, and no word of a lie, the whole fun and upbeat attitude thing. I think that is one of the things that makes you such a great coach. And I remember meeting you for the first time, and I instantly felt like we knew each other for much longer. So it's definitely one of your superpowers. Now, I know that you offer potential coaching clients complimentary coaching consults. So we're going to in a little bit, we're going to pin a link to the top of the page. But I wanted to know, when you do that kind of thing, how do you know, or how do you and how do they determine if you're a good fit for each other?
I love that question. And you know what? People don't ask that question enough in this industry. When I was looking for coaches way, way, way back in the day, I did shop around, because you really do have to find somebody that has that rapport with you, but also ones that have been in the industry long enough to have the experience that you need, right? So it is difficult. So what I tend to do is look, I kind of interview my students to some degree. You know, I want to know that I have the right teaching style for them, because everybody has a different learning style, right? Nobody learns the same. So I might get on with them very well, but they might want something that's very, very kind of strict and a little bit more kind of organized. And, you know, day one, I want to do this, and this, and this. You know, more like a written, structured course. I do that too. But for the majority of my coaching, it's very organic, because that's the type of person I am. That's my teaching style mainly. And that might not suit everybody. You know, somebody might want something that's very, very structured. I do structured stuff. I do a 5-week course. I give homework, you know, even if it's the organic style of coaching. But it does give me the chance to learn what kind of teaching style they're looking for, whether we get on, and whether I can actually help them. You know, if they come to me and they're a veteran in voiceover, because I teach, you know, I coach veterans too, I'm like, you know what? You don't need any help in that area. You're just fine. You just needed somebody to tell you that you're just fine. That's okay, because a lot of the time, you guys know, sometimes we just need that. We just need to get on and have some confirmation that we're doing okay still.
A little pat on the bum.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's true. Beautiful. The cheerleader every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, there are plenty of people who are just willing to take people's money.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Right.
So do your research. You know, you got to like weed out the chaff. Is that the way to say it?
Yeah.
That's
Weed out the
absolutely.
chaff? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of your other specialties, which you speak frequently, that you speak frequently at conferences and booking internationally. So what does working for international clients look like these days?
You know, it really does depend on the client, but I think, you know, having worked in many different cultures, you have to take their culture into account, right? You're not going to approach somebody who, I have a great Finnish client in Finland and they're amazing, but I didn't approach them market-wise in the same way as I would approach an American company, because they don't do business in quite the same way. Their language is different and, you know, their time zone is different, or, you know, little things like that. It might sound like something really small, but if you take in consideration those little tiny aspects that are different with the client that you're dealing with, whatever they're from, you know, just quoting your rates in their currency and yours just makes you look like you've given them some thought, you know. Quote them, tell them what time zone you're in, send them a message in their time zone, not on yours, you know, be thoughtful about that.
Brilliant.
Keep your language simple if they don't speak English as a first language. So on the work side, it's very similar to here. Rates can go up and down, and some countries have bad rates and some countries have better rates. You know, you have to do your research there. But, you know, live sessions can be fun when nobody can speak good English. So, you know, all that type of thing is fun. But you just have to be aware of all of that going in, you know? A lot to think about.
There's a lot of variety in voiceover to start, and then you throw in the whole international mix, and it just amplifies that to the end.
For sure.
To go a little bit deeper on the work stuff and, you know, what you've been doing lately and stuff, as part of my, and Emma's going to attest to this, my ongoing self-imposed, I must confront my concerns about AI efforts. We're going to be working on e-learning reads tonight and corporate and stuff like that. You not only work as a talent, but also in e-learning casting. So how has the rise of the machines affected that part of the industry so far? And what do you think the future holds?
Gosh, what a loaded question. I think we've all got our own different views on this, right? And I think a lot of voice talents are actually quite frightened to tell people what they really think, quite honestly. So I'm going to tell you what I really think. I think AI is coming whether we like it or not. It's not going away. I think that, yes, it's definitely going to impact the industry. It already has. I've already lost a couple of my e-learning clients to AI. Thankfully, not big ones. But what I do think is that the companies that have the money and the big companies will stick with human voices because they know human voices are better than AI. I think it's going to get crazy with AI to begin with, but then it'll come back and find its middle ground again. You know, a little bit like the photography and the, you know, listening on vinyl versus MP3s. I think it will kind of go crazy first, but then it will kind of come back and people will suddenly realize, oh, AI was cheap and, great for what we needed, but, we've lost a couple of this and a couple of that because we're not using human voices. However, saying that, I also think it's important as new voice talent coming in to know that there is a place for you if you wanted to clone your voice for a genuinely good voice over AI company. There are out there if you're looking for passive income, because it ain't going to go away and you still need to make money in this day and industry with AI coming, right? So if you can find a legit AI company where you can get passive income, where your voice is being used for stuff that you believe in, number one is very important, and you get residuals and it's all above board and you've got a very good contract, then don't be afraid to look into that too. And I don't want to be shot down by saying that, which I might be, but people aren't talking about it, and they really should talk about it, because AI is not going away, unfortunately. And it is a bit of the devil, but it's also here to stay. So, and AI right now is the worst it's ever been. So it's only going to get better. It's very new and it's only going to get better. So it's coming, people. We just have to embrace it as well as work with it. It's kind of like two double-edged sword, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. So with that being said, how about some human voices? But I know before we start to pull people up on stage, Patrick Kirchner, you're first on deck. So if you could raise your hand, or I'll go and find you and then invite you up. Shelley, I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of give people a bird's eye view into how you coach before starting the reads.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's different for every student that comes up, depending on what I hear. But this is what I want everybody to kind of think about. So I really like to get students to be as relaxed as possible. I'm only ever going to get the best out of you if you're comfortable, right? So for me, the way I coach is, I use humor a lot, right? Humor works to calm people down and to relax. But I also want you to think about the things that you've already heard. Who are you in the story and who are you talking to? But most importantly for me, I want you to know your why. That's really important, because this is the way you connect to your copy and it gets a little bit more personal. Where are you when you're having this conversation? That will help you relax, try and imagine that. But more importantly, this is what I do. And I try and ask my students to make this something that they do every time they have a script in front of them. Most people will read the script in their head, read it out loud, go in and then do their thing, right? That's what they do. And that's what you should be doing. Wouldn't it be great if we sounded amazing as we do in our heads? Oh my God, I would be rich right now. But anyway, when you read out aloud, I don't just want you to read the words. I want you to tell yourself the story. Because we can all read the words, right? But if you tell yourself the story and get invested in that story, it will come through when you read. And ask yourself, how do you want the listener to feel when they hear your voice? That's really, really important. Because I'll give you a place to start. Do you want them to feel relaxed? Do you want them to feel a sense of urgency? Do you want them to feel empathetic? Do you want them to feel, oh, I really need that, excited? If you want to convey something with your voice, you want to know how they're going to feel. So it gives you a place to start. How do you feel about that? Biggest thing, when you record yourself in your booth, don't give yourself direction while you're recording. Do them in different places. You have to have two heads. When you're in the booth, that's your creative space. That's when you do 3 reads or 2 or 3 reads straight off. Obviously, you pick up if you make a flub, but you don't go, oh no, I didn't like that. I need that to be more. You're too close. You can't do it from there, right? So that's your creative space. That's where you're a voice actor. Once you've done that, come out, listen to the read, make your notes as the director. Now you're the director. So you're listening to the reads and you're giving yourself direction. We don't do that in the booth. The director doesn't say to us in the booth, you don't say to yourself, okay, no, stop. I want you to do that. You don't know. You're too close. You can't hear it. So when you've got your director's head on, that's when you make notes like a director does in a live session. Then you go back and you change it. There you go, rather than trying to do it on the fly. That's been the biggest thing that my students have all been, oh my gosh, it's changed everything that I've done. It takes a little bit more time, but believe me, it helps. It works. Doesn't work for everybody, but give it a go. It might work for you. All right, I'm going to shut up then so I can hear somebody's...
Everybody take notes. Everybody take notes. No, really. And
So
even
true.
because, and this goes, we're going to start in a second, but this goes for tonight, but also for any opportunity that you get. You often hear, oh, you can audit the class. Like if something is full, but you can audit the class. Sometimes you can get just as much benefit by listening because you hear people make the decisions you would have made and read in a way that you think you would have read. So absolutely listen, make notes. And, even if you're not reading tonight, you're going to learn from this. Yeah. So who's first?
I'm auditors in the workshop that I was just in here in LA with Joseph Briano. And it was exactly that. All of them were like, I never would have made that choice. It was really interesting. It was really, really cool. They got everybody got so much out of being in the room, whether you were on the mic or not.
I learned way more sitting in the audience when I was getting coaching myself than I did on the mic. It's incredible.
All right. Patrick is up first.
He is.
Welcome, Patrick.
Yay, I get to read for Shelley.
How
are you?
I'm good. How are you? I saw your name. I'm like, hey, Patrick. How are you?
Doing awesome. Been looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. What script did you choose?
Choose?
Or shall I choose?
How
one
about
for you?
you could? I mean, I'm happy to get thrown at whatever. We're on eLearning, so we have your eLearning one or the Corporate Explainer. Those are kind of in my wheelhouse. If you want to throw me a curveball, pick something, throw it at me, and we'll go from there.
You know what? I'm going to throw you a curveball because I don't want to make it easy for you.
Great.
All right, let's do the online ad. Let's do the narration then. Because I know you, Patrick, so I want to work your chops. How's that?
Okay. Online ad it is. Middle age, 35 to 45. All right, I get to go a little younger. Anyone helpful, articulate, hopeful. Oh, yeah, I read this one earlier. Hooray. Oh. When we feel alive, we do more than just live. We find purpose and meaning in every single moment. For over 30 years, together with labs, where are my commas? For over 30 years, together with labs, clinicians, and our partners, we have empowered diagnostic insights and transformed patient care to make faster disease detection and diagnosis possible. Because for patients, every minute matters, and a minute can make all the difference between living and feeling alive. We are Alive DX, and we innovate for life.
Oh, lovely read. Patrick, that was so nice. Well done. You have such a believable voice. You've got that lovely warmth to your voice, which is naturally there, right? You haven't even got to work at that, right? Which is great. I mean, for something like this, the narrator style, you've got that down, right? So always think to yourself, what you already have as a person, your personality, you don't have to try and get to there. You're already there, right? So know yourself really well. Know what your personality and your voice sounds like. And then you just add layers on top of that, depending on what the direction says. Now, with this read, it says the word genuine and articulate and hopeful. Now, what do you think they mean by articulate and hopeful? What do you think it means about those? Articulate, does it mean say every word? I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
I think it more along the lines of sounding like someone who's well-spoken and knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable.
Unless they want to, really want to push for separate all the words and enunciate them.
Right. I don't think that's what it means, right? Looking at the script. So I want you to think about, we want to hear a lot of hope there, right? But also in the middle part there, for over 30 years, together with labs, clinicians, and our partners, that's the information bit. So in the beginning, we set it up. This is what's going on. This is the informational bit. And then this is what we're doing, right? And then this is who we are at the end. So there's the ending right there. So there's lots of different parts to this, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to feel the different parts. So I want you to just warm it up a little bit. I want a little bit more smile. And a little bit more, I want it to flow just a little bit easier. So I want you to pick up the pace in little areas. Doesn't have to be through all of it. And you're going to know where those are, right? So follow your gut, right? So change the pace here and there. So for instance, because for patients, every minute matters. Like the drama of the pause, right? Sometimes the pause, the power of the pause is really, really important. You don't have to follow the grammar. In fact, sometimes I say don't follow the grammar. This one, there's not a lot of commas, so just work with it. Speed up, slow down. Not a lot of voice actors work with pace enough, especially in something like this, right? So I want you to just warm it up, play with pace, and let it flow a little bit more. One more read. Off you go.
When we feel alive, we do more than just live. We find purpose and meaning in every single moment. For over 30 years, together with labs, clinicians, and our partners, we've empowered diagnostic insights and transformed patient care to make faster disease detection and diagnosis possible. Because for patients, every minute matters, and a minute can make all the difference between living and feeling alive. We are Alive DX, and we innovate for life.
Nice. That was awesome. Do you see how just that tiny little bit of difference of playing with pace can really bring it in? You just sounded a little bit more genuine and it just flowed a little bit better. How do you feel? How did that feel?
And I think what made the biggest difference for me was breaking the script. Basically, there's 3 turns in it, so there's 4 parts to it, and that separating that explanatory part in the middle, that helped bring everything together, bring the warmth of the first and the third section really to life.
Right, you do have to kind of see what those transitions are, and every script will have them. Some will have more, some will have less. But when you read it to yourself as the story, you'll get to know that. We haven't got time to do that today with the way the clubhouse is going to go. But, if you do have a chance to read the scripts beforehand, do that. So read yourself a story so you get invested in it. That was great. Patrick.
Thank you, Shelley. Appreciate you being here.
No, that was
Thank you, Emma. Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Great job.
Next up, we have Ralph Duke. I have sent you an invitation to join the stage. If you could join us now, that would be awesome. And then Stephen Blair, you are on deck. Woohoo!
Whee!
Oh, it's just loading.
It's a loading, people.
It always takes its time.
Isn't it like the magic roundabout? Is that the magic roundabout? No. I normally do the magic roundabout.
Isn't it Jeopardy?
That's Jeopardy.
Oh, is that Jeopardy? See, I wouldn't know what Jeopardy is. we do the magic roundabout theme when we're waiting.
You see, everything different. Football, soccer, roundabout. Like, what? Or is it us that do everything different from...
Yeah, it's very different.
Right.
Hi, Ralph.
Ralph is on stage.
There we go.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, listen to those pipes. Hi, Ralph.
I'm going to take a step back. I don't want to get hurt. Don't worry, I'll be gentle.
Oh, good. He's going to be gentle. All right.
First time doing this, so...
oh, well, congratulations for coming up here. It takes a lot of courage. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, at least I wasn't first. So, Patrick, thanks for that.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared of. We just want you to have fun. So, would you want me to pick one for you, or is there one that you would like to have a stab at?
Well, considering this is the e-learning one, I figured I would go with the e-learning.
Fantastic. Let's do that. Now, when you say you've not done this before, is this the first time you've ever done a voiceover script, or are you just starting, or is it something that you're interested in? Tell me a little bit about where you are.
Actually, I've been doing the voiceover thing for a few years now.
Right.
It's my first time jumping onto something like this with people such as yourself. Learned people like you.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but it sounds great. Okay. I'm joking. I'm kidding. All right. So this one speaks for itself. This one is actually written really, really well. So you'll be able to have fun and relax with this. Now, I'll give you a little bit of an idea, guys. When somebody said, and to be honest, I hate the word conversational. I think it should be struck out of the English dictionary. But that is 90% of the direction that we see, even in e-learning. In fact, more so in e-learning now, actually, than ever before. And a lot more character type copiers coming in through the e-learning. So in this particular script, you're playing a guy that works in this company, is an avatar on the screen, and he's taking you through this experience, right? So usually you play an avatar. You might be a customer in a bank. You could be the bank teller. You could be the narrator. So you're always playing somebody when it comes to e-learning. You're not always just a narrator. So fun and friendly and conversational comes up way more now than it used to. I prefer the word natural. I prefer the word, authentic. So I just want you to kind of be you and then look at the script and see if you need to add anything, like I said earlier. So you already sound like you're very warm and friendly. So there you are, friendly. You got that down. So put that to one side and just focus on the stuff that is in the script that you want to get across. So this is really nice and friendly and fun. So just relax. And if you want to do ad-lib you know what I mean by ad-lib, maybe a little warm-up word before you get in there. But yeah, let's just give you a first read and see where we are.
Hey, my name's Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. You will follow me and my crew throughout your customer service journey. For now, I'm here to introduce you to your CS experience and talk through all the things CS. I also want to introduce you to my friends at SAN. The e-learning team will be your main point of contact and answer your questions that come up along the way. Let's start with step 1. How do you even get started? Go to elearning.san.org, pop in your login information, and boom, you are in the system. On the left side of your screen, find the My Courses link in the Quick Links section. The CS program is found here, and you're off to the races.
Nice job. It's not easy to come up here and do that. Congratulations, Ralph. That was awesome.
Again, if I could just jump in for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
Ralph, you've got all the time in the world. We don't have a packed house tonight for reads, so just take a breath. You've got the time. We're here for you. I totally understand. I just finished a workshop with Joe Cipriano. I thought I was going to poop my pants because there was people in the room. Like,
Yeah.
totally feel you. So just take a breath.
So just relax.
You got that. You're doing great.
You are. That was such a great read. So exactly what Emma just said. Do not rush it. Just take a deep breah. Literally, in through your nose, out through your mouth kind of thing. But also, I want to kind of ask you, what are you doing with your body right now? That sounds a bit weird and naughty, but I'm kind of interested. I know, right? Shelley, you're going to be struck out of this room in a second. I want to know whether you're relaxed in your body. Do you have your arms crossed? Are they to your side? Are your fists clenched? Are your shoulders up? If you look at your body right now and feel your body and genuinely say to yourself, okay, relax your shoulders. Because I bet you're kind of all, am I right?
Actually, a bit nervous, yes, on the first one.
Right.
But I tend to move around a lot. I don't sit static in my chair. I also, in my booth, I only sit. I don't have something that I can stand and talk on.
Right.
So,
Okay. That's fine.
But I wave my hands around. I wiggle my shoulders, tilt my head, all that other fun stuff. So
Good. And that's what you should be doing. Absolutely. As well as being relaxed, yes, don't be afraid to move your arms around. In fact, you should, right? The more you move your body to get yourself relaxed and into the read, the better, right? So when you introduce somebody, whenever I say, I also want to introduce you to my friends at SAN, I put my hand out. You can't see me, but I put my hand out as if I'm introducing them, as long as your mouth stays on microphone, of course, right? So there's lots of things you can do to kind of help your read with your body. So I'm just going to ask you to just trying a little too hard. So I just want you to pull it back a little bit, right? You don't need to be quite so energetic. So just pull it back just a little hair. Just smile a tiny bit more. But more importantly, just slow it down a little bit. All it needs really is just for you to relax and we're going to get a great read. And let's just hear another one. It is all about the pace. Yep. Off you go.
Hey, my name's Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. You will follow me and my crew throughout your customer service journey. For now, I'm here to introduce you to your CS experience and talk through all things CS. I also want to introduce you to my friends at SAN. The eLearning team will be your main point of contact and answer any questions that come up along the way. Let's start with step 1. How do you even get started? Go to elearning.san.org. Pop in your login information and boom, you're in the system. On the left side of your screen, find the My Courses link in the Quick Link section. The CS program is found here. And you're off to the races.
Nice. That was a great read. Again, I just want to do those first 3 lines. So I'm going to we've got time to do this, right, gang? Have I got time to do these first?
Yep, you do.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right. So my name is Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. Love that, right? You will follow me. I mean, your read was great. The second read, just so much more relaxed. Obviously, nerves, a little bit less nerves on the second one. Now, here's the trick, right? When you're talking to somebody else, right now it's slightly ready, which a lot of us will do, right? We're reading it and we want it to sound like we think it should sound. We want it to sound like you're talking to somebody right next to you. So I want you to get a little bit closer to the mic and bring down your volume, your projection, just a tiny bit. Not like you're telling a secret, but just like you're sitting next to somebody, they're right next to you, and you're going, "Hi, my name is Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. Okay, so you will follow me and my crew throughout your customer service journey." So in this case, I want you to imagine you're showing somebody something on a screen rather than physically there and you're taking them around. I want to change the scenario for you a little bit, just to see if I can get something different from you. For now, I'm here to introduce you to your CS experience and talk through all things CS. If you start tripping over words, it usually means that you're just speaking a little too fast. Now, one thing, breathing. Breathing's really important, right? Don't be afraid to take a breath anywhere. You can edit that shit out, guys, right? For the most part, you can edit those breaths out. So even if there's not a comma there, if you think you're running out of breath, take a breath. Or go back to a pickup where you think you can take a breath. You know, there's a lot of long sentences. That second little paragraph there's a really long sentence at the end, right? So if you're not sure, go through and just put some commas in. Nobody's going to kill you. You're fine. So let's do it one more, just those first 3 lines. And I want you to kind of have that scenario in your head and bring back your projection a little bit, just like you're talking to one person and you're just pointing things out. You know, maybe it's your mom and you're showing her how to use online banking. I don't know, right? Have something in your mind where you're just one person sitting down and it's very intimate. Let's see what that sounds like.
I'll tell you right now, me talking to my mom, it would take a lot more than the time we...
I understand.
I do too. Different era, right? Yeah.
All right. My name's Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. You will follow me and my crew throughout your customer service journey. For now, I'm here to introduce you to your CS experience and talk through all things CS.
And boom, there you go, right? Way more natural, way more friendly. You lost your smile just a little bit. Now, here's the thing. You can still have that nice intimate read, but still have energy. So what I would do is just maybe, we're not going to do it now, but think about that, especially when it's e-learning, right? When it's e-learning, you always have to think to yourself that you are probably going to be an avatar on screen doing something, but there's usually going to be one person taking that, right? So always think about that. That helps me when I do e-learning a lot. Is that helpful?
Yes, very. Thank you.
Awesome. Well done, Ralph. That was awesome. You take direction really well. Good job.
Thank you.
Yay!
That was awesome. You know, I often tell students, as Shelley, that this kind of situation where you have not only an instructor or coach listening to you perform, but you also have a room full of your peers, it's very unnatural for voiceover. We're used to being alone in our booth or alone in our booth with a director, in our ears or something like that. So this is a really kind of wonky situation. So like we've said on this show many times before, everyone know that this is a safe space. We are here to learn and grow and have fun together. And I tip my hat to everyone coming up. Ralph, awesome job. What a progression too, eh, Shell?
I know, right? What a difference. It's crazy I love
And
it.
that's how it works, folks. And so let's move along. Before we do, I'm just going to drop our mid-show reminder that we call it. If you've joined us part of the way through this evening's show, this is the Voiceover Round Table here on Clubhouse Live every Tuesday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, where we talk about all things voiceover with a special focus on our beautiful community, bringing you in-depth interviews, roundtable discussions, special performance events like tonight, and industry-leading guests also like tonight.
And tonight, our special guest is Shelley Avelino.
Yeah, I love how he says that sensational thing. Oh, Tim.
Oh man, let's keep going. We got another person on the stage. Stephen has joined us. Welcome, Stephen.
Hi,
Thanks for
Stephen.
being with us.
Hi, thank you, Emma, Mike, and Shelley. It's an honor to be here with you.
Love having you.
It was ours. This is great. This is really fun. I'm excited.
All right, good. So I think I'll do the same one. I'll do the e-learning one.
Awesome. See, and this
That's
is
okay.
great. Yeah, this is great. No, I love it when students, especially when I'm teaching groups like this, is you're always going to hear something different. Always, always, always. So I'm really, really excited to see what you're going to do with this, Stephen. Again, you've read the direction.
Yes.
You definitely sound like you're already a fun, friendly guy. So I'll know more of that when I hear it. But let's do a first read. Off you go.
Okay.
You ready?
There we go. Hi, my name is Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. You will follow me and my crew throughout your customer service journey. For now, I'm here to introduce you to your CS experience and talk through all things CS. I also want to introduce you to my friends at SAN. The e-learning team will be your main point of contact and answer any questions that come up along the way. Let's start with step 1. How do you even get started? Go to elearning.san.org, pop in your login information, and boom, you're in the system. On the left side of your screen, find the My Courses link in the Quick Links section. The CS program is found here, and you're off to the races.
Nicely done, Stephen. You've got a really kind of unassuming voice, which is a good thing, right? You're like that guy next door. I can definitely hear you doing like bank stuff. You've got that kind of sounds to me, which is great for e-learning.
Good.
One biggest thing that came out for me, I definitely want to hear more smile. I definitely want to hear a little bit more fun in the friendly there, right? I mean, we haven't got to go over the top here, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to be like this. You don't want to be the point where, you're cheesy smile. But I definitely want to hear some more warmth in your voice. And if you smile, we'll get both of that. We'll hear a little bit more smile. We'll get a little bit more warmth. And also, kudos on your breathing. Your breathing was awesome throughout that read, right? I didn't have any issues with you running out of air or anything like that. So let's literally just give it a little bit more smile. And I want you literally just in that last little bit. Let's start with step 1. How do you even get started? Definitely on that part. There's a lot of areas in this in the beginning, but that part there, I really want to hear you. I want you to talk to me. Let's start with step 1. Here's what I want you to do. You're a little bit more information giving, but I still want to hear the fun, right? So that's where it becomes tricky. You want to still be friendly, but keep the audience listening. So with e-learning, let's start with step 1. I want you to put your finger up. Let's start with step 1. So you're doing something with your hands. And then when you get to the bit, find the My Courses link. I literally want you to do inverted commas in the air with your hands. Now, you may have done that already, right? But I want to hear it. If you do it, I'm going to hear it more, right? If you do that.
Yes.
And use your body a little bit more. I don't know whether you were. I didn't feel that there was a lot of action in there. So if you weren't, be mindful of that and start putting a little bit more of your body behind this. But yeah, no, I just think it needs a bit of warming up and a bit more fun in there. Let's hear your second read.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Hi, my name is Ash. It's a pleasure to meet you. You will follow me and my crew throughout your customer service journey. For now, I'm here to introduce you to your CS experience and talk you through all things CS. I also want to introduce you to my friends at SAN. The e-learning team will be your main point of contact and answer any questions that come up along the way. Let's start with step 1. How do you even get started? Go to elearning.san.org, pop in your login information, and boom, you're in the system. On the left side of your screen, find the My Courses link in the Quick Links section. The CS program is found here, and you're off to the races.
Very nice. Very, very different, especially that last paragraph. That last paragraph was way different. And I don't know whether that's just because you added the spile or whether you did that. I think it was probably a bit of both. Now, here's the thing. I want you to practice when you go home, when you're out of this call. I'm so used to saying that when I coach. When you're in your booth or when you're doing voiceover just by yourself and you're practicing, I want you to obviously read out loud every day. Everybody should be doing that. I want you to record yourself, Stephen, when you're having conversations. So I want you to get a little bit more used to how you sound in different situations conversationally. Or if you can, get some of your families to take recordings of you when you don't know it, when you're having conversations. That's even better, right? Because I think right now you just need to get to know yourself, get to know your voice a little bit better in that conversational sound. You're nearly there, but there's a little bit more sort of hills and valleys in normal conversational speech. You've got there at the end. I want you to work on that a little bit, just so you're a little bit more relaxed and it comes to you a little bit easier. Does that make sense?
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so very much.
You're welcome, Stephen. Thank you for reading. You did a great job. Awesome.
Thanks for being with us, Stephen. And Shelley, I had a question thinking about the reads from both Stephen and from Ralph, since they read the same piece. Now, when we get a script like this and it has in the direction that sort of, conversational or authentic or natural and things like that, but phrases or word combinations or things come up that aren't necessarily conversational, like the way that we would speak in conversation. And the one that kept jumping out to me is "you will follow." And most often in conversation, I think generally we'd say "you'll." So how do you recommend talent handle that kind of thing where it's kind of, it's not quite natural the way it would...
Well, we wouldn't normally talk like that, right?
Right.
I hate scripts that say, introducing. I hate that. Nobody says that, right? So for me, the way that I...
say it all the time.
Introducing my new policy, Cornel, right? Right? I mean, for me, I don't generally find this too much of a struggle, only because in my head, I will always do a little ad-lib in my head so that it helps me get there. Or sometimes I will just ad-lib in front or behind the phrase if I'm struggling with it. Right. So for instance, you will follow me and my crew. I'll say, or, hey, listen, come. You will follow me and my crew throughout your customer experience journey. It's going to be great, right? You can edit that out, right?
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll do two. If it's really, really not conversational and you will follow me and my crew sound better, I'll do 2 takes of that for the client.
That was going to lead to my next question. So if this were booked work, what would proper protocol be? Would it be okay to write to the client and say, hey, I know you want this conversational. Is it okay to contract?
Sometimes I do. It depends on the client and who it's come from. Yeah. If it's a production company, I'll go back to the production company. I'll say, hey, exactly what you've just said. And they'll come back and go, oh, I'll get back to the client. If it's direct to the client and I've got a really good conversation with the, relationship with the client, I will definitely do that. If it's through an agent, I won't. But I'll give them the second take and let the agent know that I've done it, unless there's too many of them. If it's a 60-second spot, okay, I'll do one without the contractions and one with, right? It's, you have to kind of go with your gut, but it all depends who the work has come through, I think. But yeah, absolutely, I'll ask the question if I can.
Yeah. And I think the thing that because I get that question a lot, and then the other thing I share with people is sometimes, and you know this very, very well, sometimes some of this work that we get, especially when we're talking about corporate and things like that, it has been vetted up the wazoo and legal has gotten their hands onto it and everything like that. And it's like, the words are the words and they aren't going to change.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, we don't want to upset the writers, listen, they've spent a long time writing this script. So we do have to honor that. But if it really, really doesn't follow and it doesn't flow, then by all means ask the question. They may come back and say no, in which case, ad-libbing in your head and, doing little things before and after will definitely help to get there.
I like that. That's a great technique. Thank you. We have another talent on stage, Charlie.
Hey.
He's number 3.
Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Number 3.
I'm doing fantastic. Great to be here. Mike, Emma, thanks for everything you do for the VO community.
Oh, thanks.
No, they're great, aren't they?
Appreciate it. And pleasure to meet you, Shelley.
Yes, pleasure to meet you too. We've had whole guys so far. I know. This is great. All right. Did you have a script in mind, Charlie?
Yes, I'd like to go with the explainer video, the Canon Medical.
Ah, the medical one. This is a great script, actually. And I'm glad somebody picked this one because now, Emma and Mike, you will know this. You've probably had this 1,000 times. Sometimes you get work in this industry where the direction is sometimes even longer than the script. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we've got that.
Oh, even in auditions.
Even in auditions like this one. I mean, this one isn't too bad. But, you can't be optimistic, warm, trustworthy, humble, caring, reassuring, helpful, and knowledgeable all in one go, right? You can have a damn good go at it, right? And, if you've been doing this over 10 years, you can be pretty close. But it's pretty, you don't have to be all of this direction all in one go on every single word, right? You can sprinkle things in and out depending on what the script is telling.
So what's the strategy, Shelley Avelino?
The strategy goes back to what I was saying earlier. How do you want that listener to feel? Look at the script, tell yourself the story, and how do you feel when you're telling yourself the story? So when I talk about telling yourself the story, guys, I don't know whether you know what that actually means. So here it is. I will read it to myself. I'm not performing when I read out loud. So I'll say, okay, healthcare is rapidly evolving, yet no shit is it evolving. Presenting formidable challenges to overcome. Okay, what challenges? Workforce shortages, say that fast. Limited resources, definitely limited resources, and inefficient workflows. Okay, does that mean are increasing a burden on healthcare providers? Well, I know that because I can't get healthcare, and that sucks. See what I'm doing? I'm making it personal to me by reading myself a story. So now they're no longer words. I'm actually invested in it. While an aging population, the growing demand for personalised medicine, yes, there is a demand for that, and environmental concerns, oh my God, yes, accelerated the need for immediate. So, I'm rushing through it. But you get my point, Charlie? So what I'd like everybody to do is really try and start doing that. And that's when you can say, oh, okay, so in this point, I need to be a little bit more humble in that area of the script and reassuring here, because that's how I want to be reassured about this. So you will be able to tackle that once you start getting invested in the script, if that helps you. Now, another thing with your body, when you want to be warm or trustworthy or caring, this is a great script for this. I do different things with my body depending on what emotion I want to convey in my voice, right? So if I want to convey reassurance or caring, for instance, or I want you to trust me, I will normally put my hand on my heart. That's what works for me. And I know for a fact that when I do this type of read, I put my head to one side. As if you've just seen a new baby or a puppy. Oh, look at that. But that's kind of what works for me, right? So again, it's knowing what your body does, what do you do in different situations, what does your body automatically go to? So it's knowing yourself really, really, really well when you're in the booth and outside of the booth that can help you in these reads. So I just got a little bit long there, Charlie, but there you are. I've given you lots of stuff. All right, so let's just jump into this and let's hear what your first read sounds like. Off you go.
Sounds good. Plenty to work with here, Shelley, so I'll give it a shot. Healthcare is rapidly evolving, presenting formidable challenges to overcome. Workforce shortages, limited resources, and inefficient workflows are increasing the burden on healthcare providers. While an aging population, the growing demand for personalized medicine and environmental concerns accelerate the need for immediate, sustainable solutions. At Canon Medical, we partner with you to overcome these challenges with an unwavering focus on your patients, your people, and a sustainable future. We call this collaborative imaging.
Wow, very nice. I do want you to bring that down. So that was way too optimistic there, right? It was a great read, right? You were way too happy about all that, which is great, right? That's good. But did I feel reassured? Was it nice and warm and caring, right? So this is what you've got to ask yourself, right? I would really pull it back.
Okay.
Pull it way back. I want it to flow just a little bit more. So what we do by making things flow, right? We still listen and look at the commas and the grammar, the punctuation, that's there. But I want it to breathe a little bit more. So I want you to slow it down just a tiny hair, let it breathe, right? I want you to really pull it back, like I just mentioned, like you're talking to somebody who is really struggling with something in healthcare. We understand. We want that kind of vibe here, right?
Okay.
Where you was a little bit more like, hey, I got you, and this is which is great, but that's not what's needed in this reach, right?
Okay.
So I don't know, what would you do if you wanted to reassure somebody? I want you to think about who you would talk to reassure somebody. What kind of voice tone would you use for that? So that's the kind of thing we're looking for here.
Okay.
All right, so let's pull it back. Let's slow it down a little bit. Don't be afraid to play with your pace and use a little bit more smile. Off you go.
Healthcare is rapidly evolving, presenting formidable challenges to overcome. Workforce shortages, limited resources, and inefficient workflows are increasing the burden on healthcare providers, while an aging population, the growing demand for personalized medicine, and environmental concerns accelerate the need for immediate, sustainable solutions. At Canada Medical, we partner with you to overcome these challenges with an unwavering focus on your patients, your people, and a sustainable future. We call this collaborative imaging.
That was better. That was definitely better. I still want to pull you back. It's sounding... Have you got an announcery background, Charlie?
I do.
I can totally tell. So what we normally do, it's very hard to go with a read like this when you come from that background, right? So a lot of students, when they come to me, they sometimes come to me from radio or from TV or from an anchor news, somewhere like that. And we joke about it, but it's actually quite true. We normally say that we have to beat the announcer out of them and kind of start from scratch, because it's very hard to get out of that style once you're in it, right? And this is clearly what's going on here. I think, you've got that in there, and it's very, very hard to get a different kind of flow and style when you've come from that kind of background, right? So for you, it would really help you work on your projection and pulling it back and just really getting to know what you sound like conversationally. And one of the biggest things for people coming from that is hitting words. So when you announce, and when you do like an announcery read, you'll hit certain words, right? You bullet point them a lot. That's kind of what the announcery read is kind of like. So when you want to get into a more kind of warm, conversational, flowy type read, that's what you have to pull back on. So you're not hitting things, because I don't talk like that. I mean, I'm over-exaggerating, right? I'm doing the Will Shatner, right? That's what I'm doing right now. So that's what we say. We don't want to do so much of the Will Shatner. So I just wanted you to do that very first paragraph. Let's do that first paragraph again. And I really want you to pull back, almost like not that you're whispering. I want you to get really intimate. So similar to what we did with Ralph. Was it Ralph? No. Stephen. Sorry. I want you to pull it back. I want you to really pull it back. And let's see what that sounds like.
Healthcare is rapidly evolving, presenting formidable challenges to overcome. Workforce shortages, limited resources, and inefficient workflows are increasing the burden on healthcare providers, while an aging population, the growing demand for personalized medicine, and environmental concerns accelerate the need for immediate, sustainable solutions.
Good. Better. Again, I think you've got a little ways to go, but I think working on that will really, really help you kind of hone in that more subtle read. Right now, you're still projecting a little too much, but I think with practice, you can really work on that. But that's something you can do outside of here, and that's really easy to do, right? So record yourself doing that really pulled back read, almost like you're whispering. So come away from the microphone and bring that down, or get close into the microphone, turn down your gain, and just see if you can get that little bit more of an intimate read. But that's all it's going to take, is just that. But that's kind of where I think your where it's coming from. Is that a Nancy background? For sure.
And
Great.
off is really helpful.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yep, cans off is definitely a good trick. Sometimes, to what you're just saying, Shelley Avelino, to what you're just saying, sometimes it can be the projection thing and finding the sweet spot of being able to pull back. Sometimes that can be an adjustment of your gain versus your headphones and playing with that to find a good spot. Because if your gain is not where it needs to be and you find yourself turning your headphones up and you're like, okay, I got to speak louder, and maybe you don't. Maybe you bring your gain up and your headphones down, and all of a sudden you're just finding a nice spot to be in.
Good advice there, and he's so right.
great.
So play around with all of that, you know, and I think don't be afraid to record yourself practicing those types of reads, and, you know, again, get familiar with what you're like in different situations. You don't talk like that to your family, so record yourself having conversations with your family, and then boom, oh, that's what I sound like. There you go. Try that.
We've got recordings of Shelley talking to her family. Watch out, folks.
Hot off the press.
Thanks so much, Charlie. Thank you for being with us and for hopping up and putting yourself out there. Like I said,
Thank you very much, guys. Greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Welcome.
Thanks for being with us. Who's next, Emma?
She's on stage already.
How's Samara? Yay, we are ready. We're going. So
Am I good? Can you hear me?
You're on the sing. Yes. You're on the thing.
You're on the thing.
Excellent.
How you doing, Samara? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, good.
Good. So which script did you decide to have a crack at tonight?
I'm looking at the corporate ad, iCamper.
And I hear let me think. Don't tell me.
Oh, come on, you know it.
Oh, I heard it and my ears perked up right away.
I'm totally off it. It is not saying it. I was thinking, is it New Zealand? I'm like,
New Zealand's more clipped. Much more clipped than the Aussie accent.
Yeah, you're right, it is. You're right, it is. Actually, this is a great one, right? This is a great one. Outside, outdoors. I mean, oof. This one must talk to you, right, Samara? I'm sure this one does.
Exactly.
All right. So just one little advice on this one. You don't have to stick to the punctuation, right? If you want to stand out, especially in auditions, you know, go a little bit off track. As long as it makes sense, it doesn't sound weird. Don't be afraid to play with, you know, punctuation and pace and really give this life. All right. Let's hear what you got.
When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, the city's relentless noise fades into the horizon, surrendering to nature's soothing symphony. Beneath the vast canvas of stars, they discovered serenity, reconnecting with life's simple joys. A campfire's warm glow, stories shared in the night's embrace, and the love that enveloped them. Escape from the confines of this city, seek your own adventure. In this haven, your adventure begins. It's more than a trip, it's a transformative experience. When life calls you to escape, follow the call. iCamper, where spontaneity meets comfort. Your adventure begins here.
Wow, what a read. Samara, boom. That was a great read. You literally got the meaningful but not overacted. That was so great. That was a really great read. I mean, obviously I can give you some tips here. We're just going to play around with a few things, but I don't know about you two guys, but I thought that was a great read. I loved it. Okay, so.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
Lovely.
Lovely. Definitely warm. And I got pulled along by your story, because you definitely told a story, right? Which was great. Couple of little things you can do to just make it stand out even more. So let's just say I was hearing this, casting director, I'm getting it in. I will hear, 40, 50, 60. When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, when life takes those unexpected, the 45th time of hearing that, believe me, I want to stick a pencil in my eye, right? Just saying, that's what it feels like for us. So What you want to do is to make me go, wait a minute. So how do you do that, right? How do you guys literally do that for somebody to take note of you? One little thing is not sticking to punctuation, right? Now it's written out, line by line. So they've done that for a reason. But at the same time, you can give them a second read where you don't necessarily stick to that, right? You can carry it on and make it a little different. You can give a little lead in. I always leave my lead-ins in. I don't know whether you two guys do, Mike and Emma. I leave my lead-ins in 99% of the time, right? And your lead-ins, you must make them relevant, and you mustn't just do one word like so, or when, or hey, right? Make it part of the story. Make it actually be part of the story in the script. So you might try some of those. So for today, I just want to go down. Let's do the whole thing. We have time. Do we have time? How many more have we got, Emma?
We have definitely one, possibly two, but the second person might be having audio technical
Okay.
issues. So,
well, we're going to do one more, Samara. I think you're going to take this like a duck to water. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with this direction. So I want you to really play more with the punctuation. So I want you to get rid of the fact that they're lines, separate lines, so 2 lines here, 2 lines there, each line. I want you to put some of it together. And I want on that very last line, yes, we don't want it to be overacted, but I want there to be a little tiny bit more on that last line. You kind of threw it away just a little bit ahead too much for me, right? So you always want to start strong and you always want to end strong, right? Sometimes we won't get to the end, right? So you always want to start strong. But if we do get to the end, you want to, leave them feeling like they've just heard something amazing, right? So never throw away the last little bit. All right, let's get another take on it. Good job.
When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, the city's relentless noise fades into the horizon, surrendering to nature's soothing symphony. Beneath the vast canvas of stars, they discovered serenity, reconnecting with life's simple joys. A campfire's warm glow, stories shared in the night's embrace, and the love that enveloped them. Escape from the confines of the city, seek your own adventure. In this haven, your adventure begins. It's more than a trip. It's a transformative experience. When life calls you to escape, follow the call. By Camper, where spontaneity meets comfort. Your adventure begins here.
Nicely done. Again, a very good read, a really good read. Now, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball in there. So this is what I mean when I get you to play with the punctuation. You want to do something that nobody else is going to do. So I'm just going to show you what I mean by that. So that first line, everybody's going to breath at the word turns. When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity. So don't do that. When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star. See what I did there? I'm overacting it, right? But I moved the comma completely. I just got rid of it and put it somewhere else, right?
Yep.
So don't be afraid to do that. The city's relentless noise fades into the horizon, surrendering to nature's soothing symphony. I just made that shit up. I just put commas in, right? Don't be afraid to do that. As long as it still sounded great. It still got what needs to be said across. But that's what I mean. Don't be afraid to really change things up. Because the minute you go, when life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, I'm going to go, because I haven't heard, when life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to hear 70 million takes of that, right?
Yep.
So you want to show me something different. So have a little bit think about that and play with that with some of the other scripts that you might come across and auditions and see if that kind of helped you get noticed and book more work. It might help you. Good job.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you.
Awesome, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rowan.
You're welcome. Oh, it's so exciting. I'm having so much fun.
Shelley, that brought a question to my mind because when we've had other casting directors and voice directors and things on, depending on the genre, we get different answers. But to what you were just talking about with Samara, how many seconds do we have to catch your ear in corporate and in e-learning and things like that? Is the attention span as short, or is there a little bit more leeway?
It depends on what the project is, actually. So if it's a long form e-learning and it's a narration spot, I'll listen to a bit more because I need to know whether they can keep their pace, whether they can keep their energy up, etc., right?
Right. Yeah.
If it's like they're playing a character and it's I don't know, 15 seconds, I'll know instantly after about 5 seconds whether they're giving me what I need for that character. Right? So it really does depend on what the project is. So I can't give you a straight answer. It varies quite a lot.
That's okay. But I think the underlying point that you made in your direction on these last reads was the chances of you hearing, as a casting person, you hearing a similar read over and over and over again are very likely. So you have to find a moment in the early moments and
absolutely
make it something. Even if the ultimate final read ends up being exactly what everybody else did, right?
Which sometimes it does end up being. I'll always put in 2, maybe 3 auditions if I can, and I always make them different. And that's how I kind of do that. But I will usually put my gut feeling, even if it's the different one, first. Sometimes I won't, depending on what the job is. But more often than not, they'll go with that different read because they're like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. Oh, I didn't, Other times they'll go, I love what you did with the read. However, we want to kind of stick to what we've got here. So, and then they'll take me back there. But it's the fact that I can show that there's versatility and I'm not afraid to think outside the box. That I can give them something different,
Yeah.
And that's what usually helps me book more work is because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because direction can change. Somebody can come in the room and, oh, well, can we try it like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. For sure.
We've got somebody else on stage. Emma, who's up?
We have Jaredin.
Hello.
Jaredin.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the round table.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. Jaredin, which script are you going to have a crack at?
I really wanted to... I know you guys just read for this one, but the iCamper one is probably the farthest out of my comfort zone.
Good for you. I'm glad you're doing the one that isn't in your comfort zone. I mean, it's great if you do the ones that are, but it means you're going to stretch yourself. So kudos. I like that. I always love it when you kind of, do stuff that you don't necessarily go for. So, all right. Warm, meaningful, but not overacted. We've just heard, oh my gosh, I've already forgot Samara do a beautiful read with that gorgeous accent. So yeah, I'd love to hear your take. This is fun. Off you go.
Sure. When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, the city's relentless noise fades into the horizon, surrendering to nature's soothing symphony. Beneath the vast canvas of stars, they discovered serenity, reconnecting with life's simple joys. A campfire's warm glow, stories shared in the night's embrace, and the love that enveloped them. Escape from the confines of the city. Seek your own adventure. In this haven, your adventure begins. It's more than a trip. It's a transformative experience. When life calls you to escape, follow the call. iCamper, where spontaneity meets comfort. Your adventure begins here.
Very nice. What an awesome read. I love that. Honestly, I was pulled straight into that. I could feel that campfire's warm glow, y'all. Certainly. That was great. I loved it. Now, here's the thing little bit of advice I can give you, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of what I call cool words. Words that you can really work with. All right. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is soothing. When you say the word soothing, you automatically say soothing, right? Okay. Right? So the soothing, which you were kind of doing anyway, But this kind of read, it just cries out for that. You don't want to overact it, right? You just want to do it a teeny, weeny bit and not on everything. Well, the campfire's warm glow, right? And there's another one, where is it? Embrace the love. Oh, love is another one. And the love that enveloped them, and the love. I give a little love to the word love always, right? So always, pick out a couple of those words and really kind of lean into them, right? A lot of this read, I think, you can almost reflect. If you're a camper, do you like the outdoors, Jordan?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So, when you're telling this story, reflect, right? Remember that campfire's warm glow. Retell that story. So in some ways, I want this to sound just slightly more reflective of you're telling us about a time when you did this. Now, I haven't heard that in this read from a lot of people, but when I have, it's really, really worked when they don't go too far into it. So I'm kind of thinking that you would be able to give me a little bit of that, and I want to see what that sounds like. I'm just curious. I want to kind of push you. But if this out of your comfort zone, you did a really good job of it being outside your comfort zone. So nice job.
It's more that I've auditioned for several things like this. It's just I never seem to quite land.
Right. Well, I didn't see anything. I don't see a huge thing that jumps off the page as to why you wouldn't. I would maybe warm it up a tiny bit, just a little bit. But it was a great read. Put a little bit of that reflective emotion in there. Let's see what we get from that. Let's see where it takes us.
Sure. When life takes those unexpected turns, when spontaneity becomes the guiding star, the city's relentless noise fades into the horizon, surrendering to nature's soothing symphony. Beneath the vast canvas of stars, they discovered serenity, reconnecting with life's simple joys. A campfire's warm glow, stories shared in the night's embrace, and the love that enveloped them. Escape the confines of the city. Seek your own adventure. In this haven, your adventure begins. It's more than a trip. It's a transformative experience. When life calls you to escape, follow the call. iCamper, where spontaneity meets comfort. Your adventure begins here.
Nicely done. I definitely heard a slight difference in that read. It pulled me in just a little bit more. Be slightly careful. You're just trying a little too hard.
Is that what?
Just a hair. So I think that's probably what's maybe not letting you land it just a tiny hair. For instance, iCamper, where spontaneity meets comfort. Your adventure begins here, right? It's not your adventure begins here. They've said overacted, so that's what overacting is, right? So you hit words and your big pauses. You don't need to do that, right? Nobody wants that now. So if anything, the only advice I can give you is just don't work too hard. You overwork it. Just pull it back a little bit, smile a little bit more. I love the reflective emotion. Maybe kind of go there when it's something like this, and that will kind of bring a little bit more authenticity to it. I love the second read. I thought it was great.
Got it.
Nice job.
Great feedback. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for being with us, for coming up.
Tomorrow.
We have one final reader. Tamara is up all day.
Tomorrow, how are you?
We may have some technical difficulties, but we're going to try. We are going to try.
Hello.
We're here. There it is.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
It's nice to meet you, my lovely.
Nice to meet you too.
So, do you have a script in mind to finish us off for the evening?
I wanted to go with the teen progressive copy.
Oh, I was so hoping you would when I heard your voice. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely hip and cool. Let's do this. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, this is a great spot. It's really short, nicely written. So yeah, let's see what that beautiful hip and cool voice will do with this one. Ready when you are.
Progressive wishes they could insure you against everything from bikini mishaps to bad sunburns. But for now, they can just offer really simple car insurance. When you need some, think Progressive. and visit teams.progressive.com. Progressive Car Insurance. Simple.
Oh, baby, I love your voice. Your voice is so fucking cool. I love it. All right, so over here, okay, I'm giving the hand movements here. All right, so what I'd like you to do with this one, in your second read, I want you to pull it down just a little bit. Pull it back just a tiny hair. Oh, I'm losing my voice now. I've been talking nonstop all day. Please excuse me. And I kind of want a little bit more hip in there, right? Now, I don't know whether you know what I mean by that. So maybe a little bit of a wink, a little bit of like, hey, pretty sure against everything from bikini mishaps to bads. A little bit more jokey, a little bit more, yeah, I really want, you know what the progressive ads are like? They're really funny, right? So let's get a little bit more like, hey, I wish they could do that. But for now, they can just offer really simple car insurance. So it sells itself, like progressive really does sell itself. And that's what this ad is kind of saying. They wish they could do all the things that are out there, but they just do really good car insurance because that's what they're great at. So they really don't need to be a lot, after that first line. But let's just see if we could have a little bit more kind of nudging. Oh my God, I wish they could do this. Oh, right. Just that little bit of a hip edge to it. Does that make sense tomorrow, or do I need to kind of come at you a different way?
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
All right, let's see what that sounds like. And smile just a little bit more for me. That would be fabulous.
Okay. Progressive wishes they could insure you against everything from bikini mishaps to sunburns. But for now, they can just offer really simple car insurance. When you need some, think Progressive and visit teams.progressive.com. Progressive Car Insurance. Simple.
Nice. I like that. Okay, I'm going to go even further because we've got some time. We've got like a minute, maybe two. I want you to get sassy. I want you to give me sass, like a little bit of sass. And I want, right now it's very kind of hills and valleys, right? I want us to bring that down a little bit so it's not quite so, what's the word everybody uses? Musical. It's a little bit too musical right now, a little bit colourful, right? So I wanted to bring that back a little bit. But let's get some sass in there. Can you do that for me?
Okay. When you say the hills and valleys, what do you mean exactly?
So what I mean is, I want you to flatten out the read a tiny little bit. Right now it's very up and down hill, like up the hill, down the hill. Progressive wishes they could insure you, right? So it's a little bit too up and down. So I want us to flatten, bring it in a little bit, right? So maybe not quite so much energy.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
All right. And let's have lots of sass. Let's get that sass going.
Progressive wishes they could insure you against everything from bikini mishaps to sunburns. But for now, they can just offer really simple car insurance. When you need some, think Progressive and visit teams.progressive.com. Progressive Car Insurance. Simple.
Oh, way better, Tamara.
That was chill. That was
awesome.
You take direction well. That was good.
That was great. You took that direction. Awesome. I really want you to work on your sass. That kind of, and bring that read down. There's not a lot out there that wants something that's really, really up and down like that. So, start recording yourself and seeing if you're doing that. And if you are, just pull it back just a hair and just see if you can kind of give a little bit, not a flatter read, but just kind of pull it back a little bit. And I think you'll get a little bit more of an even read. And then you can really play then with the sass and the hip and the edgy and the cool. Because it's naturally in there. I think you just got to pull it out.
Okay.
That makes sense. Nicely done.
Could I ask you to give me, from this read, an example of a little bit more sass?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Progressive wishes they could insure you against everything from bikini mishaps to bad sunburns. But for now, they can just offer really simple car insurance. And that's just a little bit of sass, right? So it's almost like you're like, hey, you know what? I wish they could give me this, but they can't.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
I don't know whether that gives you an idea. I'm sure Emma could do way more sass than me. She's sassy. She could do way more sass than me. But
I think it's more like, for me, sass is like, think about you have a couple of girlfriends over and everything's getting a little bit more animated and you're like, listen, this is the way things are. This is the way I want them to be.
There you go.
Let's go.
There you
Now
go.
now you
That's
see,
us right there. Told you she could do it.
and I'm glad that Emma did exactly what she did, because one of the points that I was going to make is see, you can't see, but we set up a back kind of thing so we can see each other, and we got a Zoom going on, but the finger was waving and right. And so the point
back in my chair,
what I was going to
over the back of my
right,
chair, I'm
leaning
like,
back,
listen.
and so the point is sometimes to go get those like cheeky or sassy or those little emotions that are very nuanced to inject them in. Sometimes a physicality. So maybe it's just an eyebrow raise or a shoulder shrug or just a little lean back, or like Emma was doing, wagging your finger all over the place. But those physicalities, even though we can't see them, we end up hearing them. Just like you hear a smile. When someone says smile, you can hear it in the voiceover when you smile.
Right.
And so the physicality is like a little shrug or a little finger wag that you hear it.
And you always hear action, right? You know, action is really, really important. So yeah, everything that they just said, try and bring that as much as you can into the booth and make note of, I mean, I have a mirror in my booth so I can look at what my face is doing when I'm feeling certain things, because facial expressions play a huge part too, right? So, you know, maybe become aware of what your facial expressions and what your body language says when you're being sassy with your pals, right? You know, make a mental note, put it in your toolbox, take it in the booth with you, bring it out when you need it.
Okay. I tried to put my hand on my hip, but I probably should have put my shoulder into it too.
Ah, there you go. There you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. Awesome. Down. I love
But
it.
Tamara, to what Emma said, you did really great taking that direction.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for being our last talent coming up to read tonight. What an awesome group. Shells.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That was fun.
Fun.
If you didn't see it already, I pinned a link up at the top of the page, www.internationalvocoach.com. That is one of the many ways you can get in touch with Shelley. If you want to have a quick consult to see if coaching with Shelley might be cool for you, that's the way to get in touch. I hope you've all enjoyed hanging out with Shelley. Shelley, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with your peeps.
This was so much fun. I love doing this more than anything else, right? You know, seeing people, being part of their voiceover journey and seeing them progress and helping out. I made some pretty bad mistakes 11, 12 years ago, and I don't want you guys to make those. And then we all out. Yeah. So if I can help diminish some of those and help you progress, I'm all about that. It's super fun.
Love it. Thank you so much for being with us.
I do a 23-minute consult. You can do it on my page. It's free. It's free. Free. Thank you guys for having me. This was awesome.
Oh, absolutely. We love you, Shelley. Thank you for being on with us. But we go a little bit over time, but when we're having fun, okay. There's some hard and fast rules. We're okay with that.
Good with that.
What's going on next week, Miss Emma O'Neill?
Next week we have the fabulous. He's very, very tall. He's very blonde. He's Irish, and we became friends at VO Atlanta bajillion years ago. Mr. Randall Ryan, the king of video games. Oh yeah. Is going to be on the show.
Yes, bud.
Oh, my God. He is a casting director for some of the biggest video games in the world. World of Warcraft, Dungeons & Dragons, G.I. Joe, Operation Blackout. He's a huge, huge casting director, booth director, and he's just a really good coach and human. And he's also a keyboard player, and he's super fun. So, yeah. And so he's going to be on.
That's going to be fun. So if you or any of your peeps are into the video game stuff, you got to let them know. Of course, we'll be posting about it on the socials, and please share like you always do, folks. We love how you're supporting these events and the community and getting the word out there. But yeah, if you know people that are into the video game thing, let them know next week.
I'm going to be here next week. I'm going to be in the audience, man. He's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not missing that.
Wonderful. We hope you'll all join us Tuesday evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, here on Clubhouse Live for the Voiceover Round Table. Until then, everyone have a great night, a great week, all that stuff, and we'll hear you soon. Cheers, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye.